Hello, everybody, and welcome to Brooks Knows Baseball. Today's a different episode, a little bit special because for the first time in the history of BKB, we are together as one. Not married, of course. We're in the same house, in the same room, in our Brooks Knows Baseball headquarters here in West Texas. But we'd also like to highlight that our last video is our by far most popular video. We've actually gained a substantial amount of subscribers from it. It's almost like we're starting to blow up. Maybe all those 3 views on those pirate videos are starting to pay off finally. What do you think?
Absolutely, it's amazing. We jumped up like 200%.
Yeah.
So and the subscribers went way up.
Yeah,
it's amazing. We appreciate that a lot. And more subscribers, the more we're going to be able to do. We're going to expand. Maybe add some video down the road. Maybe our sets will be different. Try to get more professional each time. But we think we do all right in the knowledge part, and we'll keep the more we do as far as subscribers and everything, the more time we'll have to do even further research and have more time. So
but we also want to say welcome to the new subscribers that we do have. Everyone who's viewing the videos, obviously someone's liking them because you're reviewing them. Review times get longer, so that's great. If you're a new watcher here, give us a little bit of listen to. If you like it, like the video, comment on it. We're getting some good comments as well.
Please subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe it for us. Let us know if you like it. If you don't like it, what should we change? Should I not wear a blue shirt? Should he lose some weight? All right.
And don't be afraid to comment. And if you don't agree with us, argue with us. So
yeah.
We'll discuss, and then we'll go back and forth. And
I kind of feel like an asshole saying Ohtani was overrated because.
What did I tell you?
I may have been wrong about that one.
What did I tell you?
Maybe.
That's right.
But today's episode, I think it's getting down time to keep talking about trade talks and draft talk. So we're going to talk about some trade deadline stuff. I think today a good episode would be to talk about who's the untouchable guys in the top 100 list. The top 100 list was just updated and released today. We have a new number 1 prospect, which to me it says a lot. It's another Oriole for the 3rd year in a row after having Adley Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson. Now I got Jackson Holiday. The writers of MLB.com and MLB Network think so highly of him. They have him ahead of Elly De La Cruz, who's arguably right now playing the best baseball in the entire MLB.
And I'd like to say that the latest news is one of the top 100, one of the guys we've been harping on, Westberg.
Jordan Westberg.
Jordan Westberg got called up today, or I guess it may be officially tomorrow, to Baltimore. So let's see how that works out.
Yep. We can only pray that they send Jorge Mateo down, or DFAM send him to the Dominican Summer League or something.
Yeah, any Oriole fans out there, tell us why we should keep Mateo. Wait, is his hitting? Oh, he don't hit. His fielding's just average. It's nothing special. No, Ortiz could do it. Henderson can do it. Westberg can do it.
Well, I saw a stat today saying their middle infielders rated 22 and 23 respectively. So you can't keep him there for defense. You can't keep him there for at-bats. He has good speed, but if you get on 20% of the time, what the hell good is that? It's
exactly,
no good.
Exactly. And I know they're talking about people like Frazier and some of the other older dudes they have that they need the leadership. Well, let me ask you this: the real leader of that team is who? Adley Rutschman.
Yeah,
he's one of the younger guys. So, he's going to lead them.
I think Aaron Hicks could give good
You got Hayes, you got Cedric Mullins, you got leaders in that team.
If they want veteran leadership, they have Hicks, and Hicks is actually producing.
Hicks is doing really good.
But before we get to this, isn't an Oriole show.
Right,
maybe Brooks knows Baltimore's coming up soon. Maybe not. We never know. But let's jump right into it. I think right now is a good time to start. Let's talk about prospect rankings. Again, we're only going to go through the top 50 guys we think aren't untouchables, which you would think if you're a top 50 prospect, you're an untouchable. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think we're looking at the top 3 guys. We got Jackson Holiday, Elly De La Cruz, Jackson Chourio.
Elly De La Cruz, dude. Cycle yesterday.
The youngest guy since
we watched that game yesterday. He's amazing. Watched him a little bit today. He's good. He's first or second, obviously.
He's already had 70 at-bats, which is crazy to think because he just went up. But he's hitting 333, almost a 400 on-base percentage there.
What's he got, like 10 extra base hits, I think, in that amount, too?
Yeah, well, he's got, 3 home runs?
His on-base percentage is like 395. The guy, granted, he'll probably level off like all of them do. I mean, look at Gunnar Henderson last year. He was ripping. First at bat as a home run. Did great. This year he died. Now he's hot. He's very hot. He's doing really good. So,
but like I said, those top 3 guys.
Can we mention one thing? Though? Weren't you the guy who was telling us that we should send him down earlier in the season, Gunnar? And I said no.
He's still only hitting like 240, but
hey,
it's neither here nor there. Jackson Chourio, who I think is a superstar athlete. If you look at his stats for this year, he's only hitting 252. To me, He's an untouchable. I don't necessarily. I know the Brewers are doing decent if you look at the baseball standings right now.
I don't think the Brewers trade their prospects ever.
No, and
You
but
know.
that's such a winnable division, though. I think.
Yeah, I know.
So, but I do think those guys are untouchables. Yuri Perez, he's only 20 years old, already made it. He's untouchable. Marcelo Meyer, now that's one I don't think is an untouchable.
I don't know how's he hitting this year.
But yeah, let's take a look at him. But the only reason he's hitting 250.
And how is he the 5th rated guy when he's hitting he you know?
Look what he's hitting in
Double A. He's batting 177, only 79 at bats. But dang, come on, he's struggling there. I think that's a little. Someone likes Boston.
I don't think he's an untouchable, but I don't think he'll be traded because Boston's
Who would want? What would you want him for?
Well, Boston's not in the race right now, so they're not going to trade their top prospect for anybody. So I think he's safe. So I think the top 5 guys are going to be untouchable.
He's still young though too.
James Wood, another guy.
I don't know how he jumped up so quick.
I think he's hitting 236 this year in Harrisburg, which is Double A, and only 24 games.
He's only 20 years old too, so I think he's going to be great.
I think he's an untouchable.
You know what he is? He's the next Aaron Judge. They're built almost the same.
He's that big?
Oh, he's huge. He's huge.
6'6", 240, almost Aaron Judge.
Right.
He's more Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah.
But
that wouldn't be bad.
Then we go to someone I think is very intriguing, Jordan Lawler from the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Arizona's farm system is awesome.
And they are in a playoff race. They might trade him. And I don't think he's an untouchable. So,
what's he doing this year?
Well, look at him. He's doing fairly pedestrian this year. Right. 58 games, only hitting 245. So, he has 10 home runs. You got a little bit of pop.
Right.
But
they don't.
Arizona is going to need help if they're going to want the bolster or something. But giving us someone like that, I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying he's not an untouchable.
Right.
But we're going on to Evan Carter. I think with the Rangers, I could see him getting traded because they're great, but they need bullpen help.
Yeah, and look at the Rangers. They're decimated with injuries in their pitching staff. Well,
he's doing really good this year, especially in Frisco. He went from rookie ball to straight Frisco.
He's a stud, man.
I don't think he's an untouchable. I think Evan Carter could see a new team this year.
I don't know.
But I only think
I wouldn't trade him, but I don't like trading my young guys.
But if you could trade him, say they want to get
You'd have
Corbin
to give
Burns.
me a lot for him.
Say they want to get Corbin Burns.
You'd have to give me something like that. Right.
But Corbin Burns.
And if I could sign him, but he's signed through next year.
Yes. He had his 3rd game today, I believe, of less than 5 strikeouts. He only had 1 last year. He's already had his 3rd this year. So something to watch for. But for his numbers are still good. Not Cy Young good.
No.
But top 15 pitcher.
He's not what he wants. But he's
still in 28 though.
And he's unhappy there from every arbitration they pissed him off. Excuse my language. So anyway.
But then we got Bobby Miller, a right-handed pitcher from the Dodgers. He's already made it. Dodgers are on the playoff race, but
he's 3-1. He's 3-1, 30-some innings.
Yeah, they're not going to trade him. He's got a 4.1 ERA.
Hey, the Dodgers, look at their lineup offensively. Nothing special for the most part, but they bring up pitcher after pitcher from the minors, and they're good. We mentioned one last week. Can't think of his name now. The guy from the Northeast.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Now looking at the
I don't think they're trading Pete Crow.
The longest name, I've never seen 2 lines of a name on a jersey. Pete Crow Armstrong. Again, if they're not...
What's he doing?
He's at 280 this year. You look here.
Yeah, I think he's untouchable.
Solid, slugging at 4 and almost 500 OPS, 854. They're not trading him because they're not playing for.
Was he a Mets draft pick originally? I think he was, wasn't he?
He was a New York Mets first round pick in 2020.
Yeah. Another reason why the Mets stink like they do, they give away talent like that, and anyway.
Here's the part I think is going to be a superstar with Andrew Painter. He's not playing yet this year because he's hurt. Phillies, you're not going to get much for him. I know the Phillies are starting to come on a little bit more. They're 7-3 in the last 10. They're 10 games back already, so their division series.
And Atlanta's playing better lately, but
I'd say they're playing
9-1, but they're just starting to hit their peak, so they're probably.
Yeah, I don't see Andrew Painter going anywhere. Take a look at Jackson Merrill.
Yeah, shortstop.
He's a shortstop. He's only in high A, which at 20 years.
San Diego probably ain't going to trade him because they're not even nowhere near the race, really, are they? They're under 500.
I don't think he's an untouchable.
Well, why would they trade him if they don't have any? I mean, they're not going anywhere.
Well, their third base is set forever, and their shortstop set forever.
Right, and their right field, Tatis.
So.
Well, shortstop. No,
I don't.
Yeah, Devers. I mean, not Devers. Bogarts.
I don't think. I think he's trade worthy.
Well, why would you trade him if you're not in a race?
Maybe they think they can be. Maybe their bats come alive here in the next month.
Yeah, their pitching is great.
Yeah, it's just their bats. Then you got Gavin Williams. He's already made it for the Guardians. He's not going anywhere. You got Kyle Harrison. He's in AAA. The Giants.
21 years old in AAA.
He's not an untouchable.
Well, they're doing really good this year. Maybe they want to
bolster some help here. They're only 2.5 games back. I think he is definitely a guy you could look at being traded. Colton Cowser, this is a good one because I think we're going to have differing opinions on this. I think you can trade him. And there's a couple of guys we're going to talk about here in the Orioles. Maybe not because I don't think they're top 50 guys. Like a Kobe Mayo. I think Kobe Mayo will be lucky to ever see a game.
Colton, I've seen him play in person.
I would trade Colton Cowser before I trade Heston Kjerstad. If I was an Orioles, if I was Michael Elias.
We do disagree on that because I think Cowser's a better all-around player in the field and everything.
Who's hitting better this year, AAA?
Cowser.
You sure?
Absolutely sure.
Oh, well, let's see.
I know my Orioles stuff.
So let's take a look at Heston Kjerstad just in AAA this year. He's hitting 286 in 17 games.
63 at-bats. Now go to Colton, and you're going to
4 home runs, 5 RBIs, 17 strikeouts. All right, let's take a look here at
Mr. Cowser.
Colton Cowser.
Yeah, what's he batting?
Okay, yeah, he's doing a little bit better. 323.
Right. He's awesome.
I still think, I don't know.
In center fielder, buddy.
I think if
hard to get.
Why isn't he up? He's 23. Why isn't he up there?
You tell me. Well, let's get Michael Elias on the show. Call him.
Elias makes bad.
No, you can't. You can't question.
I'm going to question his prospect handling.
I question his never getting any pitching. Because they have no pitching.
Maybe that's your answer to get some pitching.
Yeah, but
I don't think
he don't draft it.
Do you think he's an untouchable? Is there in no scenarios in your mind you think they could trade him?
See, if you trade him, say you package him in a deal for Burns.
Yeah.
Okay. Burns is not what he was 2 years ago. Why is that? You know, and how would you feel? You give him up. He's going to be a 290 hitter in the major leagues at 25, 30 home runs. Yep. He's a big boy. You know, I wouldn't trade him. Will they? Who knows? It just depends what they get.
Yeah, but moving on.
I wouldn't trade just to trade and get some half-wit pitcher who's, you know,
like Alex Cobb from the Giants.
Some of the Gibsons and Jordan Lyle type crap they've been dealing with. You know, and Gibson has been up and down. In the last game, he got hammered hard. But anyway, yeah, I wouldn't trade him. But anyway, Drew Jones ain't going to trade him. He's too young, but he hasn't done anything. He's not any good so far.
You think he's only been in the low A? He's not even high A yet. Think of the difference between the Jackson, Holiday, and him. And then there was an argument to be made, and I think at the time I wouldn't have.
Is he hurt? He's only batted 52 times this year?
Well, let's see his last 10 games. His last at-bat here was June 19th. So
yeah, but look, he didn't bat. He didn't in May.
He missed all of May.
Right.
And a little bit of half of April. But he's only hitting 173 this year, which is horrible.
His dad was never a super average hitter, but I don't mean he's going to be.
But he's very skinny.
Rail thin.
I don't think he's an untouchable. Because you say maybe he's untouchable. Dansby Swanson was the same high pick when they traded him.
No, they didn't. Arizona traded him, yeah. But
and Arizona has this guy.
And Arizona's sucked till this year.
They got Junior Caminero next at
Tampa don't trade many prospects.
No, they're not trading him. Marco Luciano, again, I don't think he's going to be traded there.
But
back in prospects.
Crawford's not got much time left, but
you see some back end prospects there. He's not their top prospect. I could see it.
I can see it. Yeah.
Noel V. Marte.
They don't trade many of their prospects.
They don't need to at this point. Well, I don't know. Hell, they might.
Well,
because they're going to be in the midst of a good race here.
They got to decide that we're trading a rental for a rental because they don't sign anybody big.
Yeah. Then let's go ahead and move to 21. Brooks Lee.
You know, Sal Frelick of Milwaukee, he may go because they got what's their boy Mitchell in the outfield, and Yelich is, I guess, for a while yet. So they may get rid of him for something.
Brooks Lee, I think he could go. I think the Twins. But they're not a good team. But one of these guys, I think, is going to go. And honestly, it's Royce Lewis or Brooks Lee. They're both shortstops. They're both 21, 23. Royce Lewis,
I think Brooks Lee's got a lot higher upside
because he plays. Royce Lewis doesn't play, so I would look at that. I think Royce Lewis is going to be gone.
The Dodgers, then you got 22nd Diego Cartaya. They trade prospects because they're like the Braves. They got so many, it doesn't matter. It's amazing how Atlanta's farm teams usually ranked somewhere near the bottom, but yet year after year they bring guys up. Michael Harris, look at their pitching staff. They got guys hurt and they're still winning.
Yeah,
the guys they bring up every year.
Yep, taking a look. Let's go. Let's roll off some names here. Colson Montgomery from the White Sox, 21 in rookie ball.
Well. Anderson's probably not going to be there next year.
I think Anderson's going to get traded.
Because they're not really in it.
Brandon Fad from the Arizona Diamondbacks, 24 AAA. I think he's an expendable player. Arizona's a deep farm system as well, so I can see that.
They do.
Got Adele Amador.
They ain't gonna trade anybody because why would they?
No,
because they're not going anywhere.
In Tampa, they're not going to trade any for anybody big because they don't need to.
They build from within every year and do good at it.
Edwin Arroyo for the Cincinnati Reds. He's 19 years old in high A. I do not see that, but they do not need a shortstop because Dela Cruz is doing so well. So maybe.
Yeah, or I don't know what else he plays.
Harry Ford, is he going to be able to? Is he Cal Raleigh?
Cal Raleigh's a solid player, man, all the way around. Got some pop,
He's not bad, but I just he's young. He's in high A. I don't think I'll trade him.
They're not. They're in last place, aren't they?
Yeah.
There you go.
They're perennial underachievers.
Valera's up with Cleveland already.
Yeah, you got Henry Davis is already up. I think.
Oh, the Pirates just made debut this week.
Tamar Johnson.
He's first pick last year. He ain't going
anywhere.
Pirates ain't trading prospects.
Logan O'Hoppe, again, he's already made his debut.
He's hurt.
Well, he ain't going anywhere. Jordan Westbrook ain't going anywhere. If he wasn't caught up by the All-Star break,
we were thinking he was going to get traded.
I think he was going to be the one who got traded. Ricky Tiedemann.
Toronto is slowly climbing out of the race, and they got some issues. And he's a pitcher, and they need a pitcher.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do it. I don't see Tiedemann going anywhere.
Again, Tampa.
Curtis Mead, again, rookie ball.
But he's 22. But he's supposed to be a good prospect, but he must be hurt or something.
He's been a rookie ball since 2018.
Well, he's been higher than that at one point. What was he last year? He's been all the way up to AAA.
Yeah, and he only hit 429 before.
He started in AAA this year, didn't he? Yep. See, he was hurt.
But he ain't hitting good.
No.
So I don't think he's going anywhere. Moving on to Curtis. Where do you Curtis Mead? Yeah, Curtis Mead. Tyler Soderstrom. He's been up and down before, right?
A's ain't going to trade prospects.
No, there's no reason for him to. They don't have much to trade at all, I don't think, because there's not much talent there. But people are saying Seth Brown, which is wild to me.
Seth Brown's like 28.
Well, they want to trade. I know he's not.
He's betting like 180 something. Who wants him?
Let's go on here to Michael Bush. Again, he's already up there in the majors. I don't think he's going anywhere. Indy Rodriguez.
But the Dodgers will trade prospects.
I wouldn't be surprised if they traded him. But they don't want to get any big name players because they're not. It'll be a rental player. But these are back.
The Pirates have dropped out of the race now.
I don't think Indy Rodriguez is going anywhere. Heston Kjerstad, who's personally my favorite guy in the entire Orioles system. To me, he'd be an untouchable, but
you never know. He may be the guy they move simply because
I sure hope not.
You know, he was out so long. I mean, I saw him in person. He looked really good.
This year total, he's hit 304, slugging at 579. He has 15 home runs, 28 RBIs. That's weird.
How many at bats in career minor league? 490 or something.
490, yeah, bats. In his career totals for the minors, he's hitting 306.
He's hit everywhere he's been.
Then you got Bo Naylor for the Guardians.
He's coming up and looking good. They need a catcher. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and he's about 300 pounds lighter than his brother. Then you got Kyle Manzardo, again, the Tampa Bay guy. Tampa's a lot of guys in top
22-year-old at AAA.
It's a possibility, but Tampa doesn't really do that. You got Colt Keith for the Tigers. The Tigers, looking here at the standings, I know they had actually made it a decent run.
But then they died.
They're 6-4. They're 10 games under. They're out. I don't think there's no reason. I mean, if they do, it's stupid. And they got Jason Dominguez.
Yeah, let's look up his numbers. He was the next Babe Ruth. Let's see how Babe's doing here.
I have his rookie card, so if anyone wants to offer me a high
Well, Babe's killing it at AA.
202.
That's only 233 bats. How many home runs? See, any player and anybody out there who's listening, when you talk about a New York prospect, he's God. And anybody who's overrated they have. I mean, how many of their studs in that team right now, with the exception of Judge, you know, Volpe, I know it's his rookie year, but he ain't doing jack. He's on the interstate, dude. And, I mean, look at their studs. Garrett Cole, they bought him. Their history is that. You know, all these Perazzas and these guys and Torres and guys, they bring Higashioshi. Really? Are they really developing any studs? No.
Not Trevino.
And Trevino's from
I like Jose.
Rangers.
I am not ever going to talk about him.
No, he's a great defensive catcher, too.
He's a good guy, too. Looking here at Mick Abel, I think he's expendable because they're going to trade something.
Yeah, well, Phillies are bouncing back. Phillies will be there.
And they got Andrew Painter as their top-end prospect guy. I think this guy's expendable 100%. He's not doing that great in the minors. He's just a 4.5 ERA. I think definitely he's on the list of being traded. They got Mason Wynn.
He ain't going anywhere. That boy's good.
And the Cardinals,
there's no reason. But I see him in spring training a lot. I liked him.
We got two Texas Rangers. We got Owen White, the right-handed pitcher. He's 23 years old. Maybe
because they're going to make him push.
I think Well, he's hurt, so he ain't going anywhere. Really.
Right.
But
No.
no, he's not hurt. Excuse me. Sorry.
13 starts, respectable ERA. Was he in AAA now?
Yeah, I think there's a chance he's definitely not.
You skipped over Pareda. Isn't he Georgia Tech guy?
Yep. Kevin Paredes hitting 267. No, they're out of it.
Yeah.
The Mets, they're not trading any of their prospects. They shouldn't, because I know their
they should
owners
trade some of
do
the
that
duds
either.
they got.
But then we got Luis Angel Acuna.
Hey, gee, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. Is he his brother?
I think he is.
There you go. He's a little guy, 5'8", 180 pounds. But
his brother ain't super.
He's hitting almost 300 this year.
He's going to be another one.
I think he's expendable. Simeon and C are going to be there for the next 5 years.
That's true.
And he's second base and shortstop. So.
And they're both ripping.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Rangers. I think they have a good window right now to make a lot of moves to get some pitching. Because what if they want to replace? I would watch the Rangers.
What's going to do is there's going to be one or two pitchers that are studs that are available, and it's going to come down between Arizona, Baltimore, and Texas because they got plenty of meat in the minors, and they're going to make.
What if Tampa wants it? They got to. They don't.
Yeah,
do
but Tampa don't do that much. Yeah,
because they don't pay anybody ever.
No, well, they did sign Rasmussen, wasn't it this year? Rasmussen.
Yeah.
Extend long contract. I think it was him.
Finishing off our top 50.
They might do something because.
I don't know.
You're getting close to that. No, they're not that far anymore. Look at it.
They are.
They are close now.
Well, they're only 3 games behind. They're still under 500, but that division's just terrible. What do you think of the Reds?
Reds, till they met Atlanta, they lost, 2 out of 3?
It'll be an exciting series against Baltimore starting tomorrow. I think it'll be very, very exciting.
Yeah.
But that's our top 50 prospects. I think it's going to be fast and furious. At least I hope it is. The GM part of this season is probably my favorite time to just hoping it breaks. I think within a month here. When's the trade done? August 4th or something? I think this year.
I'm not sure. Look it up.
Let's see real quick. MLB trade deadline this year is
it's already starting.
Yeah, it's in August. So yeah, it is August.
Andre Jackson went from the Dodgers.
Oh, here's a good one. They're saying Goldschmidt to the Phillies, maybe.
Oh, because Hoskins is hurt.
You know what? I think we need to do a trade rumor podcast. I would like that. Let us know what you think. You want to hear a trade rumors?
In about 2 weeks maybe. Because it should be getting close.
But let's go ahead and take a look at the standings really fast here. We'll burn through this, not be super, super long. We're going to try to end these at around a half hour each. AL East, nothing has changed in the entire year, really. You got Tampa, Baltimore, New York, Toronto, Boston. That's how it's going to be, I think, for the foreseeable future. The only change in that maybe is going to be the top 2, maybe. And I'm a homer bigger than FP Santangelo. If you're a National fan, you know what that means. Yankees don't have much. They're 5 games behind Baltimore. Toronto's 10 games behind. They're 5-5 in the last 10. New York's 4-6, but they have won 2 straight. They beat the Rangers, which is surprising.
I don't know.
When
you look at their batting lineup, it ain't that special, especially without Judge there.
No, but then going to the AL Central, the joke of a division. I got hiccups here if you want to take this one.
I think Cleveland's going to take that. Minnesota's leading it, but I think Detroit, Chicago, KC are out.
Yeah.
I think Cleveland in the long haul, like last several years, they got the best manager in that division. And Minnesota continues to play some guys who have no business being in their batting order.
We spoke about it last week, and they continuously. I mean, the one highlight I want to say Jordan Balazovic
got the amazing possession debut today.
No, he had made it last week, but he's been really good in the minors until last year. He was horrible. I mean, horrible. His ERA was like 9, and it was like 15 starts, so it wasn't like 2 starts. But he's doing solid in the majors, which is a good thing. A Canadian pitcher. Let's hope he does good. Then we got Detroit again, 33-43. They're out of it. Shy Sox, 34-45 out of it. The Royals, I'd watch out for them winning that division.
Well, they're only 18 back.
You're a Royal fan. You got a hat on, man.
I like the Royals just fine, but there's so much young talent there to pitch. It's just
Royals
awful.
right there. Omaha Storm Chasers. That's my jersey for the Royals. But going on here to the AL West, which is arguably the best division in baseball.
No. You got Oakland.
Okay, it's top heavy. It's top heavy. Yeah. Got the Texas Rangers, 5-5 in the last 10. They played against Detroit, so I think they're going to get back to the winning ways. We got Houston, who's been struggling lately, big time. They're 3-7 in the last 10, 41-36. They're actually about to be overtaken What's their even right now? They got the
See
same.
the Bombers, the Angels.
LA Angels 25-1.
Yeah, last time. What they had?
Unreal.
Yeah, that was incredible.
So
Seattle looked good. I've seen them in 3 games this weekend. They look really good.
Well, they lost their series, but they looked okay. I
They
guess.
still look good.
But the Angels lost today after winning that much
To
yesterday.
the vaunted Rockies.
Yeah, the Rockies are just.
They wore out
Austin
yesterday.
Gomber, man, that's someone who's just a piece of garbage, man. I'm sorry for a Gomber fan, but good.
Hey,
God.
speaking of Angels, Moniak, Mickey, who bombed out with Philly, he's hitting really good. I think that's neat.
Yeah.
He's a California guy. That's really good.
I want to talk real quick about yesterday's game. They're 25-1. Let's take a look quickly at that box score. So I did notice, if you look at the third, fourth inning, the Angels scored 21 runs in 2 innings, which I don't think I've ever
They
heard
hit
of that.
3. What did he hit back home runs in that game in the second
Every
inning?
player who
The third inning,
started that game had an RBI. Have you ever seen something like that?
Not many times.
Every player. Shohei Ohtani had 7 at bats. He's 1 for 7, so
Yeah, and didn't even have home run.
overrated. Trout was 3 for 3. He brought his average up to 258. What the hell was going on with Mike Trout? But
Let's see where he's at
Just-
the year.
Mickey Moniak, 5 for 5, 4
That's what I said,
RBIs,
337, 107
337,
at bats.
1.074.
Well, everybody thought he was going to be a stud coming out of high school. Just took him.
I'm rooting for him. I like the guys who
I like
are supposed to be superstars and they don't have good. Like I'm a big Jared.
Hey, I don't
Cohen
root
fan.
against any players.
I root against some players. I root
There's
against
a couple on Baltimore. I root
Garrett
against.
Cole's stupid idiot. And sorry if you're a Garrett Cole fan, but I just hate the Yankees. You know that. Everyone knows that if you watch this podcast.
Unless you live in New York, a lot of people don't like them.
And if you live in New York, why the hell would you live in New York?
Good
But
question.
going here, so the Angels are third place, but they're coming. Seattle Mariners, 500. I mean, that's kind of what they are, just a little bit under 500, actually.
Yeah, I just heard a big trade rumor with the Angels trying to get a third baseman because they said
Suarez isn't doing the job?
Rendon is hurt. I'm talking Angels.
Oh, okay.
Rendon's hurt again. And who did they say?
That's odd. He never gets
Oh,
hurt.
they got was it Moustakas?
They did get Mustakas.
Yeah, and he'll probably fill in. So not a big job. But I heard they may get someone else.
And the Oakland Athletics are back. You know, they had a little bit of hope there, but they're 1-9 in their last 10 games, 20 wins, 60 losses.
Major League Baseball needs to step in on some of these teams. This is
They have
ridiculous.
stepped in. They're going to Las Vegas. I bet they'd try in there because there'll be an influx of money for them. We're moving on to the National League here.
How about them Braves?
The Atlanta Braves
Love the
50-27.
Braves.
Miami, which is fantastic.
I love
best,
what Miami's doing.
best
It's
pure
great.
hitter in baseball.
Absolutely.
Sandy Alcantara not doing good.
Like the
but everyone
Phillies,
else
they're
is.
coming back. Wish the Mets would be better, but it ain't happening.
Mets, I think they're done.
They're 15 games back.
Big stat right here: run differential -18 for the Mets. The Nationals are doing what the Nationals
Well-
expected to do. I think 30-47.
Remember, you heard this. The Nationals next year will be 500. Just remember it. Remember it.
Bookmark that. But going here to the NL Central, the hottest team in baseball.
If the Reds will re-sign their guys as they go, keep what they got. They're obviously got a great farm system, which I never remember hearing that they did. But obviously, someone's doing something right. The Reds keep guys, maybe add a little bit here. They're going to be tough. They're going to win a division. They're going to be the big red machine again. Hopefully.
I hope so.
Hopefully.
I remember this. Beginning of the season, we did our 30 for 30 podcast shows for the Reds. We were thinking like it sucks because that's such a good baseball team.
Proud
They're
franchise,
not
man.
good.
Kind of like Pittsburgh, and they're back to their losing ways.
Yeah, but hey, let's go get some Skyline chili.
Absolutely.
But moving on here to
What are the Cardinals?
the Cardinals. I
What's
think-
going on there? New manager, rookie year manager, right? Then their big acquisition free agency's a dud.
Maybe
They should have done their homework there.
Maybe there are. What's his name? What's the catcher? I forgot his name.
Contreras.
No, the other one, the good one. He was there for like 35
Oh,
years.
Molina.
Maybe he was the glue that held it all together.
Maybe.
Moving on to the NL West, we're going to blow through this really fast. We got Arizona, LA, San Francisco, all right now in the playoffs of the season and today. San Diego, what in the heck is going on with them? We've talked about it. They just can't hit.
Overspent
They
and
Can't
underperformed.
hit. 37-41. Then you got the Colorado Rockies, who are just what the Rockies do every year. It seems like they suck. Moving here to the stats really fast. Who would you think is the top hitter in all of baseball right now if you had to guess?
Is he playing Miami?
Yep.
I want to say who's the top hitter in America?
But he is slumping. He's not hitting 400 anymore. He's hitting 399. So going to Atlanta after that, we got Ronald Acuna
Who?
Jr.
guy that you told me wasn't as good as I said it, but anyway.
That's okay. Then you got Bo Bichette, who's
Well, no,
overtaken.
he's tied.
He's tied with Austin Hayes.
Yeah,
from
there's
Baltimore.
something. Let's talk about this, everybody. You got The All-Star game should not be called the All-Star game. That's ridiculous. That's bull crap.
Popularity contest.
Popularity contest, because Austin Hayes, if you're tied for the league leading average and you're not even going to be in an All-Star team, not voted in, that's bull. Why isn't he there? He leads the league in average, American League. He's tied with Bo Bichette. But Bichette will be there. But Hayes, come on,
Flashier player. Maybe if Hayes wore some jewelry and
maybe
had
has some earrings and long hair. Right.
You give him the Alex Verdugo treatment.
Yeah.
Going on to the home run leaders here, and I can't say this because I feel like a jerk saying this, so I'm going to let you start off with the home runs.
Well, I'm going to start off with the leader of the National League, one of my personal favorites, Matt. I'm from Georgia. Olson, playing for his hometown team. 60 RBIs, 25 home runs. That means he hit some today. Tied with Shohei, who I told you was a great player. Alonso's slowly hitting a few again. He's 24. Lewis Robert, if you remember in preseason, I told you he was a great player, and you laughed in my face.
He's never been able to put it together, though. That's why I didn't say
He's
that.
put it together this year, pal. That's why you need to listen to me, except for he does strike out a bit. Him and Matt Olson, they love to strike out. And Schwarber.
Schwarber's a joke.
I like Schwarber, but I'm not going to say anything.
He hits 181. It's a joke.
I know. You hit 181. You shouldn't even be. What's his on base? Well, it's 324, so he must walk some, but it's 55 walks. I'll give him that. Walker home run.
Well, let's look here. Excuse me. At the RBI leaders again. Ohtani, I made you on too. We got Ohtani, Devers at 60 and 61 and 60 respectively. Adolis Garcia 60.
Underrated player there, buddy. No one talks about him much.
No one does.
Good.
And then you got Matt Olson at 60 and Josh Naylor, who's fit. I'm happy he's doing good. I like him. I got him in MLB The Show. Dude's hitting like 700 for me in 15.
Look at Ozzie Albies. A lot of people discounted him, said he's not that good. Well,
another cast off Jonah Heim too. Is doing fantastic.
All-star
guy this year. Looking here at the leaders and the walks for this year, we got Juan Soto at 71 walks and 273.
Numbers are better than last year, so I give him that.
Yeah, and he's coming on. I heard they might trade him though.
How about Ian Happ? Look at him. You know, he does a good job. You don't hear much about him. Didn't he win Gold Glove last year?
He did win.
Look at Noda from Oakland.
Yeah, that's
Rule 5 guy.
He's still only hitting 238. Let's take a look at the strikeout leaders.
What on base percentage do that for that? T. Oscar Hernandez. I've seen him strike out.
Got 100 strikeouts and not even 300 at bats.
Whoa, gracious!
Hitting 253. Then you got Kyle Schwarber at 99. Ryan McCann at 98. Matt Olson.
McMahon.
Jared Kelnick. 95. That's another one of those guys like the Mickey Maniac. People didn't think he's going to be any good.
Well, he's dying out, though.
He's still in 249.
I have to take it on the cuff on that one.
I like him, though. I'm really rooting for him, and he's good. Looking at the stolen bases, Troy Reese has 39 stolen bases already.
Look at Acuna.
Acuna's the MVP right now.
Yeah.
Someone else is going to MVP votes this year? Corbin Carroll. Watch for him.
Yeah. What's he hitting? 270? No, what's he?
290.
290. Yeah, he's doing good.
16 home runs.
How Bobby Wood hitting 247? Similar to last year, right? Poor Bobby doesn't have a lot of help.
He's got no help. He won't.
I would take him in a heartbeat. That guy's an exciting player.
Yep. And then looking at the
on base
leaders, no surprise there. Luis Arraez, big surprise in second place. We got Juan Soto, Lamont Wade, someone I would be watching for a trade as well this year. 416, you got Will.
No. Why you trade Lamont Wade there in the race, man?
I'm just saying if the deal comes up.
Who are they going to play at first base? Brandon Crawford? Moving from short?
I'm just saying.
Nah, they ain't going to trade.
What if the Orioles go to him and say, we'll give you a Heston Kjerstad and Kobe Mayo for him?
The hell would you do that for?
They need on base guys.
Man.
They have on base guys. I'm not saying I would do it. I'm just saying.
Ain't no way in hell, just because it's from Baltimore.
You got Randy Arozarena topping out the top 5 at 405.
You know who's falling out in that one?
Who?
Falling down quite a bit lately?
Freeman?
Rushman. He was up in top 5 most of the year. Where's he at now?
He is 15th.
All right, he's dropping.
Looking at the pitching here, the league leader wins. I'm assuming it's not changed. We got Shane McClanahan, 11-1.
Remember at the beginning of the year, I told you how great he was?
Then you got another Tampa guy, second place, Zach Eflin at 9-3, 331. Eflin, not Elfine.
Eflin.
I know that.
Not Eflin.
It's like Elroy Jimenez. Then we got Nathan Eovaldi, 9-3 at the 2.8. Zach Gallen, 9-2 at the 2.8. And then Merrill, I let my country down, Kelly.
Right.
9-4, 3.2.
A first-time Hall of Fame guy after that, Clayton Kershaw.
One thing I think would be funny to look at here, the most losses in the league, which it's got to be
Jordan. But that's not funny because...
Wow. Jordan Lyles, 1-11, 6.6 ERA. The Orioles made a great decision. And you got
Yeah.
Patrick Corbin, who's making what, $30 million.
Yeah, he
4-9.
got his ERA in the low to mid fours. Now he's kind of going back the other way.
5.3. Kyle Freeland, a trade guy I would definitely watch for. He does 69 points lower in his ERA away from Colorado. Something to watch for.
Just remember, he is from Colorado too.
Yeah, well, if he gets, would you want to play there and just be a mediocre pitcher or a solid pitcher?
And Greinke's finally lost it.
Yeah, 1-8, 5.3.
Lance Lynn lost
it too. Maybe because he's a chubby fellow. Maybe the pitch clock's getting him too. The league leader in saves, I'm assuming that's before looking, we got Emmanuel Clase, 23, Jordan Romano, 23, Camilo Duval, 22, Felix
Duval looks really good. Have you seen him?
Bautista, 21. I have not seen him much yet. Let's see the most. Let's see the strikeout leaders. I think it's Spencer Strider, 136 already. But it seems like he gives up a strikeout or he gives up.
They score a lot for him.
Scores. Hell.
He don't look as good as he did last year.
No, he's got a 3.9. Kevin Gausman, who I think is a fantastic pitcher, 3.1 with 127 strikeouts. Pablo Lopez from Minnesota, 4.4 ERA, 120 strikeouts. Shohei Ohtani, 3.1 with 170 strikeouts. And Garrett Cole rounding out the top 5, 2.7 with 113.
Yeah, click on the top ERA guys.
Top ERA guys, we already did that. Let's do WHIP. Tyler Wells still first place. 6 wins, 3 losses, 3.2
And that just goes to show you what
0.89 WHIP.
A good eye, good scouts can do. He's a Rule 5 guy. Because remember, he was hurt with Minnesota, didn't play. We took him. The Orioles took him.
If Minnesota didn't get rid of him, they would have Tyler Wells and
Joe Ryan's awesome.
Joe Ryan's great. 0.9 WHIP. And they got Nathan Eovaldi, 1 WHIP.
Career year.
Framber Valdez, he's a good pitcher. He's always been a good pitcher. Has a 2.2 ERA for 1
And we
WHIP.
saw firsthand Logan Gilbert's record doesn't say that guy's good.
One thing about Wells I don't like, he gives up tons of home runs.
You talk about trade candidates right here.
Yeah.
I think J.P. Sears, he's 1-5, 4.1, 15 starts, 83 innings. What's his WHIP? 103. No help. What would J.P. Sears do? He's one you could probably get and would help you.
Yeah.
I believe. Look at Dean Kramer, 8-3, but a 4.5 ERA because the Orioles hit when he pitches. And I like Kramer, but he's tightening the ship a little bit there. How about Chris Bassett? Will he be a trade chip? Toronto's out of it.
I think Kopech will. But let's wrap it up here. We're rambling now. We're almost 40 minutes. But what are your closing thoughts about the Untouchables, trade deadline, everything like that? If you can stop yawning.
Come out.
I'll go. So I think the Untouchables, realistically, no one should be an untouchable. I don't think anyone's going to be an untouchable due to the fact that if the deal's good enough, you're not untouchable. Because if the Angels say, we'll give you Mike Trout and Ohtani for Jackson Holliday, well, you got to think about it.
There's no way in hell I would trade Jackson
You got to think about it.
No. Give him who?
Ohtani and Trout.
No, that would never happen.
I'm just saying.
I know.
Realistically, no one should be untouchable. There will be, but if the deal's good enough, they're not untouchable.
Yeah. Well, how about this guy? Is he coming back to Baltimore?
I hope so, but I don't know. Wait, bad as he did. But again, closing thoughts. I don't think anyone's necessarily an untouchable. I do think there's certain teams who won't trade guys, and I don't think Jackson Holliday, number one prospect in baseball, should get traded. I don't think he will get traded because their farm system is so deep. The guys with the deepest farm systems, there's not many guys. I know they're saying Corbin Burns,
Atlanta
Shane
and
Bieber.
Houston have been doing it for years. That's how they get good in the playoffs. They always add someone good.
Yeah, and well, maybe you don't need a superstar. Maybe you need a role player. Maybe you need a guy who can hit 300 for you. Maybe not a guy who's going to hit 40 home runs for you. Maybe a guy who hits 15 home runs.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, as far as
390.
Trade deadline, a team like Baltimore, if they go around the edges and just nickel and dime it and get these low prospects, people are going to blow up in Baltimore because they're expecting a name to come in there.
Well, think about Houston. They got Michael Brantley. That dude hits.
300 hitter. He's always been a hitter.
He hits. But they've also
but
traded for Garrett Cole, Zach Greinke, and Verlander. So maybe they'll make some big splashes. I hope there's big splashes.
Yeah, because what it tells you, Elias was there for a lot of that.
Yeah.
So that may happen.
And they beat the Dodgers today.
In Arizona. What will they do? There's so many. There's so many teams.
Systems, but there's not many teams like say Shane Bieber's available, which I don't think he will be available.
Never
Hypothetically saying that, there's 3 teams in baseball that can offer enough to get someone like that. There's 3 teams in baseball who can get Corbin Burns. There's 3 teams in baseball who can get David Bednar. There's not many teams who
a team like Milwaukee would probably want some ready-made players too. They just don't want to get rid of people. Like the Orioles, maybe D.L. Hall needs a change of
D.L. Hall definitely needs to get traded.
Yeah, he needs to go.
I think he dropped off the top top 100.
Yeah, well,
I think he did.
he needs to go. See, they may take someone like him, then they don't need a shortstop, but the Orioles could give him an outfielder. Orioles got a lot of stuff to give him. They give him a good backup catcher
But
if they want.
there's a lot of teams that can do that as well. Not a lot of teams, actually. There's only a handful of teams who can make these big trades. But being exciting, let us know if you want to see a draft. We need to talk about Paul Skeens on 130 pitches.
Yeah, what do you think about that, everybody?
Yeah, I want to hear that.
I'd be a little pissed off if I were him. I mean, yeah, you want to win, you want to play, but, you
there is life after college baseball for Paul Skeens.
Right. Well, maybe.
Clearly.
Yeah.
But if he tore his ACL.
Well, let me tell you all something out there.
ACL.
I was at a high school baseball game, state championship in Virginia several years ago, and the pitcher, and I don't know the exact number, but I remember being there, and at the time said he had thrown like 150 pitches. This fellow went on to pitch in the major leagues. He got the last out when the Nationals won the World Series. But if you look back, he's had 3 or 4 major arm injuries, and that was Daniel Hudson. So maybe there is something to overpitching some guys when they're young.
Yeah, I actually remember that as well. Let's see. 2005 Virginia State Baseball Championship. From Princess Anne to World Series champion.
Virginia Beach, Virginia team.
Let's see. 164 pitches.
I see what I mean? To 160, I mean,
If it was my son, and
he
went to UVA, right?
He went to ODU.
ODU, sorry.
Home of Justin Verlander.
If I was my dad, if I was my son, I'd say get off the field. You're done.
Pasquantino.
It's crazy. Vinny Pasquantino.
And the manager of the Royals. But anyway, I'd be upset, and he's had a history of serious arm injuries.
I just can't say 164 pitches.
I knew it was at least 150. I remember it was crazy, because if I told someone that, they'd say, yeah, right, sure.
That caused the Virginia High School State League to put a cap on the number of pitches a guy could throw in one game.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's ridiculous for the coaches. They won the game thanks to Sam. What's his last name? Okay. Sam.
The hell, I don't remember. I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name.
Well, Sam, if you're watching this, you know who you are. Thank you for winning the game for Princess Anne. But let's wrap it up here. We're rambling a little bit. But again, if you're here again, we're starting to get some good views on the video. Subscribe it, like it, comment. Let us know what you think. We're going to go back to being across country next week. But yeah,
headed east.
I'll let you sign off, T-Bone.
That's all for this week in Brooks Knows Baseball.
Good night.